welcome back to episode 19 of the Hitters Meeting. I am Ryan. I am joined, as always, with Coach Ken Anderson. And before I welcome him in, sorry guys, we were absent. Ken had some family business that he had to attend to, so that stuff's always going to come first and foremost. So I'm glad everything's okay with you, buddy. How are you doing?
Doing great. Great to be back, and do want to appreciate everybody who's reached out to me, not only about our situation, I appreciate that, but also just for me and Ryan, telling us how much you missed us, and that really makes us want to work harder, and we'll keep trying to get you plenty of content out, and that means the world to us, and I'm ready to try to right the ship. 1-4 is not going to do it, and we need to get healthy against this Giants ball club, and I think we can if we do certain things. I'm sure Ryan does. He's doing a great job breaking down how we'll do that.
All right, so we're back in Truist. We have the Giants rolling into town. The Giants are on the struggle bus here in 26. There's no doubt about it. In game one, Ken, we are getting probably one of their worst starting pitchers in Adrian Hauser. What can you tell me about Mr. Hauser?
Adrian is a sinker ball pitcher, and when you're a sinker ball pitcher and you're having a tough time getting the ball down in the strike zone, you're going to struggle, and that's been his problem. Even these pitches here, that's a decent changeup, but he has got to get the ball down, and that's a really good fastball there to Beatty. But the thing with him is we just got to get the ball up, and he's been doing that. So that's why he's been getting hit. So see the ball up and hit the ball, because he is very hittable right now.
Yeah, that's kind of the MO with the sinker ball pitchers, right? You want to get them up in the zone. So let's go ahead and take a look at this man's repertoire. He has the sinker, he has a fastball, a slider, a changeup, and a curveball. This year he quit throwing the cutter, so he no longer has the cutter this year. So he heavily relies on the sinker and tends to throw it to the right-handed hitters in fastball counts. He gets a little bit more unpredictable to the lefties and increases the usage of the changeup in all counts to them. But 2-0, 3-0, and 3-1, you're pretty safe to sit on the sinker in those counts. But 2-1, 2-2, those type counts, 3-2, there's a good possibility he's going to throw the changeup. So right-handed hitters, you're going to primarily see sinker and slider. Lefties, you are going to primarily see sinker and changeup. So, the righties, your approach, hunt the sinker and hanging slider. You want the ball to start off the plate away to the outer third and belly button high to high thigh. Anything that starts middle and breaks in or away off the plate, take it until 2 strikes. If you read no spin and it's the 4-seam fastball, you got to drive it to right field because you're probably going to be a little bit late on it recognition-wise because you're not really looking for it. With 2 strikes, both the sinker and the slider that start belt high to thigh high will catch the inside and outside corners respectively. So you have to protect with 2 strikes in those certain areas. You want to sit right center field against this guy. So hitters, you want to get your direction going to the big part of the field. You want to keep it to right center field. You don't want to get too pull happy because that is a recipe for disaster off a sinker baller and a guy who likes to go with the slider. The only sliders we want to swing at before 2 strikes are going to be the ones that start at us and above the zone or above the zone and on the inside corner. In other words, the hanging slider, the one that pops right out of the hand. That's the only one that you want to swing at before you get to 2 strikes, because otherwise it's probably going to be a pitcher's pitch and you're just going to roll over it. Lefties, hunt the sinker and changeup window. You want the ball to start belly button high to thigh high, in off the plate, at you to the inner third. Anything that starts middle and breaks away, take it until you get to 2 strikes. I wouldn't mind backing off the plate early in the count to try to catch a sinker out in front and do damage, and then switch to your approach and go left center field after you take your shot at going yard. Have to guard the corners on pitches that start in the middle of the break and break either in or away with 2 strikes. Again, the only sliders that we want to swing at before we get to 2 strikes are going to be the hangers. They're going to start above the zone and in the right-handed batter's box or on the outside corner. So again, you want to hunt the middle of the zone on the sinker. Anything that breaks into you, take it. Anything that starts middle or away, take it until you get to 2 strikes because it's probably going to be off of the plate. Again, you can take your shot. You can back off the plate a little bit. You can try to pick on a sinker and drive the ball out of the ballpark. If that doesn't work, then get back to where you normally stand and really focus on getting your direction to left center field. So, Ken, that is what I have on Adrian Houser. Do you got anything else?
He throws strikes, so, I mean, he's going to give you a chance to, hit the ball, like Ryan said, get the ball up. Don't try to pull him. I mean, that's what sinker ballers want to do. Ryan does a good job of this, and when I was coaching the pitchers, if we saw a team that was pull happy, that made our day. We were just going to pound them with sinkers because we know they're going to roll the ball over and hit the ball for ground balls. So, come on, boys. You can do this. Hit the ball out, backside, hit it in the middle, and we should be able to hit Adrian Houser. Hopefully he's the medicine we need to get going.
Yeah, and the last thing with this guy, you do not want to chase anything below the high thigh. You just don't want to do it. You got to keep your eyesights up, and you got to make him paint the bottom part of the zone and make him earn your respect to that bottom part of the strike zone before you expand down there. There's just no reason to. Make sure he gets the ball up. Look, if he's painting the bottom of the zone and there's nothing you can do about it and you have to go down there, then that's fine. But until he makes you earn that respect, don't swing anything below the high thigh. There's no reason to. Moving on to game 2, Ken, we have Robbie Ray, former Cy Young Award winner Robbie Ray, but he might be a shell of that former self. So, Ken, what do you have on Mr. Ray?
You took the words out of my mouth. If this was Robbie Ray from a few years ago, I'd be scared to death in this series. But Robbie is, unfortunately for him, has had some injuries. And the problem, and the reason I'm saying unfortunately, is Robbie, though throws this many pitches, he's really a two-pitch pitcher. It just depends on which side they're hitting on. And so if your stuff is not as good, it can be hit. He is somebody that will get a little wild, so we got to make sure he's in the strike zone. I like our chances. I'd like it better if Drake and Ronnie and all them, and we're not even going to talk about the third baseman, were going well against Robbie, but I'll hold off. I got a guy I think is going to have a really great night Wednesday night when Robbie Wade, and he'll be my pick to click. So there's your tease for that, Ryan.
I look forward to it, buddy. I look forward to it. But let's get into his repertoire. He still has 4 pitches. He's got a fastball, he's got a slider, he's got a changeup, and he does every once in a while throw you a curveball. So he seems to rely a lot on the fastball when behind the counts to the right-handed hitters. He relies on the slider to the lefties when behind the count, so keep that in mind, lefties. Right-handed hitters, we are going to hunt the fastball and changeup window. We want the ball to start belt high to mid thigh and outer third to the middle part of outer third to inner third. You really want to keep your direction to right center field because that's going to keep you on the slider that breaks into you and the changeup that breaks away to you. If you get pull happy, you're going to get eaten alive. So really keep your direction going to right center field. And make sure he's going to try to pound the fastball middle at the top of the zone middle. That way the slider plays off of it, and that way the changeup plays off of it. So set your sights in the middle part. So like I said, inner to outer third. That's going to keep you on all 3 pitches. You don't have to sacrifice anything. This is one of the few pitchers you don't have to sacrifice anything, right-handed hitters. So take advantage of that window, for God's sakes. Lefties. Hunt the 4-seamer and slider. That's the only thing you're going to see. You're not going to see the changeup. You might see a curveball every once in a while, but my God, you don't need to be looking for a curveball. So you want the ball to start inner third to outer third and belt to mid-thigh. Anything that starts middle or farther away and starts breaking away, please, for the love of God, Ken, tell them, take it. You don't need to swing at it. The only slider you want to swing at is going to be the one that starts at you and above the strike zone. That's going to be the hanger. That's when we can have a barrel party out front. All right? Keep your direction to left center field because he's going to try to pound the outside part of the plate, so you might as well get your body going that way. And no, this is not somebody that you can try to cheat and pick a sinker off of. He's going to be pounding the outside part of the plate, so you got to really set your sights to left center field. Righties, you're going to have to set your sights to right center field because that's where most of your pitches are coming. If he hangs you a slider, again, that's when we can have a barrel party out front. Ken, that's what I got on Robbie Ray. He's probably the easier of all the 3 to hit because the game plan is so easy. What else do you think?
Yeah, it's just because he relied on really basically two pitches to both sides for his whole career, and his arm's not good enough for that anymore. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to pick up on the more of a curveball or throwing changeups or something more to both pitcher sides. I will say this here: you're going to hear a theme in this series. The Braves get pull happy in this series. This is going to be a miserable recap we do. If they decide to finally take a day off, go to the aquarium, go to see the fishes, go to Ozzy's house, play around in the pool, and go the other way and have a good time, we're going to have a great series. So I'm really telling you, I can see this going either or. They could have a great series here, or it could be a long week. Because if we get pull happy, these guys can get us out.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're going to play into what they're trying to do, they're going to get you out. So you really got to sit with your approach, make sure they're throwing strikes, make sure you're keeping your eyes up in the zone, because none of these guys can blow a fastball by you. None of these three guys that we're going to face have 98 miles an hour in their back pocket. They can just say, here it is, hit it. So make sure you set your sights up. Don't chase anything below, even with Robbie Ray. You don't want to chase anything below the mid-thigh, because the slider will present just like the fastball at that height, but it's going to break down and out of the zone. So make sure he earns your respect with the fastball or the changeup down there before you expand your zone low. Keep your sights up. Keep your direction going to right center field. If you're a righty, Austin Riley, I'm bleeping looking at you. And if you're a lefty, make sure you have your direction going to left center field, okay? All right, Game 3, Landon Rupp, or Rupp, however you want to say it, Ken. Landon Rupp is who we got going against us in Game 3 for the Giants. What you got on that youngster?
Wish he was a Brave. He's their best going to go. The best thing that's happened in this series is our best pitcher of the three is going to go for us. I never thought I'd say that Martin Perez would be the best of our pitchers. So it's going to be interesting. Has one of the best curveballs. You saw it. One of the best curveballs in baseball. So, we've just said it. You got to sit middle backside, because as even one of the greatest hitters in the game, Yordan Alvarez, said, you will not hit that curveball if you're trying to pull it. So, the Astros have some very good hitters. You're watching this on YouTube, man. He's making them look pitiful. So this is going to be a tough ride. Between him and Martin, runs will be scarce most likely, especially because the Giants struggle at the plate. So find a way. We have said this against some of the better pitchers in here. This is one to try to work some runs around. Again, my pick to click will come into play with that. Find a way to score 2 or 3 runs, get him out, and try to get into the Giants bullpen.
He's got a nasty breaker, man, and that does not bode well for the Atlanta Braves, because we have the disease that makes us, we can't hit curveballs apparently, Ken, because we struggle with that. And this kid is going to give us absolute fits. I can already tell you guys that. Don't hate me, just being honest. He's got a sinker, curveball, changeup, cutter, four-seamer. Has one of the best curveballs in the game. There's that. It is Charlie Morton-esque. He averages like 3,000 RPMs on that dang thing, man. That thing is spinning and hot. So you already know his out pitch. He heavily relies on the sinker when he's behind in the count to both lefties and righties, and the curveball when he is up in the count against righties, but the changeup and curveball against the lefties. So lefties, I'm sorry, he has an extra weapon against you. Right-handers, You're going to see sinker and curveball with a sprinkle of the cutter and four-seamer, but it's mainly going to be sinker curveball. Lefties, you're going to see the entire kitchen sink against you. I apologize in advance. Right-handed hitters, your approach, hunt the sinker. The curveball you can read out of the hand. It is really good, as you can see, but you can read the spin, and if you're sitting middle backside, it should not fool you terribly. You're going to have to be disciplined and lay off the ones that start in the zone, talking about the breaking balls. You want the ball to start off the plate away to the outer third and belt high to high thigh. Anything that starts middle or further in and starts to break towards you, take it, because it's going to be a ball if it's the sinker. If anything starts middle and breaks away from you, take it until you get 2 strikes, because that's going to be the curveball, and it's probably going to be out of the zone. The only cutter and curveball that we want to swing at will start above the zone and at us, and it'll drop right back into the middle of the zone where you can do damage on it. With 2 strikes, You're going to have to battle. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts there. You're going to have to expand, but do not expand your zone low or farther inside until he earns your respect in those locations. So he's going to have to paint the inside corner, and he's going to have to paint the bottom of the zone before I expand anywhere down there. Keep your direction to right center field. If you get pull happy, you're going to be in trouble. And with this guy, he throws 2 pitches that you should easily be able to take to right field. He's going to throw the sinker. That's a fairly easy pitch to take to right field, unless it's inside. But we're not looking inside. We're looking out over the plate. The curveball, if you're staying back on it, you can drive it back up the middle the other way. But if you get pull happy, you're going to roll over the ball to the third baseman. So keep your direction going to right center field and don't get out on your front foot. Lefties, your approach. Hunt the sinker and change-up window. You want the ball to start in at you to the middle of the plate from the belly button to high thigh. The only curveballs we want to swing at, they're going to start in the right-handed batter's box. You're going to start above the zone, and they'll drop back into the meat part of the zone. I know I say it all the time, but that's the only ones you want to swing at. The hangers. There's no reason to swing at any other curveball until you get to 2 strikes. Wouldn't be a bad idea to start off of the plate early in the count to try to catch a sinker or a hanging curveball that goes into the inner part of the plate and try to get out and do some damage in front of it early, because he's going to come with those 2 weapons early. So lefties, if you want to try to go out there and take your shot early, take it early. But if you don't get it, you got to get back in the box. You got to get where you normally sit, and you got to get your stroke going to left center field. So that's where I'm at with that. Again, you're going to have to really sit middle backside against every single starter this series. Don't chase anything that starts too low. Don't chase anything that starts too far in. Righties, you're going to have to really hunt the outside part of the plate in the series, because these guys are going to wear that dang thing out. So, Ken, what else you got on this youngster?
Like we said, I mean, I'm going to win Thursday night because Landon is on all 3 of my fantasy baseball teams. And so if the Braves are stubborn and don't try to hit him middle backside, I'm going to win my fantasy baseball this week. If they decide to hit the ball middle backside, then the Braves will win the game, and I'll be happy because I always want the Braves to win the game. So that's what I got on Landon.
So a win-win situation is what I'm understanding there for you, Coach. I got you. All right, we're moving to the bullpen. Ken, I know me and you are kind of high on this lefty that's in their bullpen, man, Eric Miller. So talk to me about him.
Eric Miller is one of my favorite trade targets, and we talked about it on all our shows. We're going to do trade deadline talk, and it's coming fast, and we're excited about it. And Eric got hurt, and so because of that, he's kind of rusty. But he will find it quick, and maybe the cost will be a little cheaper. He is, your typical lefty. He is tough on left-handers, and right-handers who do like Ellie tried to do there and try to pull him, they're not going to hit him. So, again, middle backside, but Eric is the best part about Eric Miller. We brought this up on other shows. He is as close to Tyler. It's funny he wears 68. He's close to Tyler Matzik kind of attitude that we need. He has a don't give an F kind of attitude, and he will shove it right up somebody's rear end. He's just a little off right now, so I know y'all going to look at the numbers and think me and Ryan have lost our mind, but he's been hurt this year, and he's rusty, and he will find it quick. Let's hope he don't find it this week.
Yeah, if you think we're crazy, man, go look at his Savant. There's a ton of red on there. About the only blue is his one weakness. He does like to walk the world this year. And I think, like I said, a lot of that's because he's been a little hurt. So we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt there. But his repertoire, he's got a sinker, slider, fastball, the 4-seam fastball, and a changeup. Both righties and lefties see the sinker and slider about the same amount. Righties, you're going to see a little bit of a slight increase with the changeup, but this year it has not been a good one. It was not the one that you saw in 2025 in the YouTube clip. That is last year's. This year's, it's not been a very good pitch for him so far, but I'm sure he will get that fixed and underway as he gets back from injury. Right-handers and left-handers, we are hunting the sinker. Righties, you want the ball to start in off of the plate at you to the middle part of the plate, belt to high thigh. That's the height you want to start at. Anything that starts in the zone and breaks towards you take it because it's a slider. This is the only slider that you want to swing at. It's going to be the one that pops out of the hand. It's going to start above the zone, and it's going to start in the opposite batter's box, and it's going to drop back into the middle part of the zone, right into your honey hole where you can do damage. Again, do not expand your zone low on this guy, because if you do, he's going to eat you up with the changeup, even though it's not a great one right now, and he's going to eat you up with the slider. So keep your sights up and make sure you don't expand low. With 2 strikes, you got to do what you got to do, but until you get to 2 strikes, you got to stay true to your game plan. Lefties, you want the ball to start off of the plate away to the outer middle of the plate, belt to high thigh. Anything that starts in the zone and breaks away, take it. Again, the only slider we want to swing at is going to start at us and above the zone, and it's going to break back into the middle part of the plate. His slider, I'm not going to lie, it might be able to start above the zone and on the inside corner, and you can still probably do some damage with those. But again, you really want the one that starts at you, because that one's going to be right in the honey hole, right down the middle. Again, 2 strikes, you got to do what you got to do. For him, sit middle backside. He's going to try to wear out the outside part of the plate with those 2 pitches, so you might as well just start driving the ball to left center field. Righty, same way with the changeup and the sinker, and of course the slider. If he hangs a slider, then you can do your damage out in front. But again, keep everything up. You don't want anything that starts too low, because if you do and you start chasing down there, then you're just going to play right into his hands, and he's going to expand the zone low and off of the plate, and it's going to be a very not nice at-bat for you. So, Ken, that's what I got on Mr. Eric Miller.
Yeah, he's, Ryan's hit it on the head. If you're left-handed, he's going to come in against our lefties. We know that. So Matt Olson and all them, as soon as that ball starts breaking away, that slider, just take it. He throws it about a good 6 inches off the plate, and that's what he wants to get you out on. So that's a good report, Ryan. I'm all over that.
Yeah, and for the righties, again, make sure that sinker starts in off the plate towards the inner to middle part of the plate, because it's going to run back over the plate. Again, if it's inside, you got to go early, but if it's out over the plate, drive it to the opposite field. So we're moving on to the last guy, and he is a sneaky one. I didn't even know about this guy until I started looking at their roster. Caleb Killian. Ken, what can you tell me about Mr. Killian?
If the Giants decide to sell, they'll get plenty of people to ask about this guy. Miller and Killian can be really good. The thing that makes him different is that he throws curveballs. A lot of people don't see curveballs out of the bullpen, so I think it really throws them. And but if you're watching on YouTube, this is the first thing. I did not talk to Ryan about video. He will not put the ball in the strike zone. So make him get the ball in the strike zone. It's pretty simple as that. But that's easier said than done, because he can, as he did on that pitch to India, can spot a fastball. But I'm just going to try to get him in the zone. And again, to do that, most time you have to look middle backside. That makes you stay in the zone a little bit longer, and you don't chase. So it's going to be an interesting guy. We will definitely see him this series.
There's going to be no doubt about it. We're definitely going to see him, and he's going to be a tough one. So this is what he's got, Chad. He's got a 4-seamer, he's got a sinker, he's got a curveball, and a slider. I think in that video, the slider, for whatever reason, was registering as a cutter, but it is a slider according to Baseball Savant. Right-handed hitters, you will be seeing an even split between the sinker, the curveball, and the slider. Lefties, you will be seeing nothing but 4-seamers and curveballs. Righties, we are going to hunt the 4-seam and slider window. You want the ball to start belt to high thigh, from inner third to outer third. You do not want to expand your zone any lower than that because of the curveball. The only slider and curveball that we want to swing at early in the count, I know I say it a lot, is going to be the one that starts at you and above the zone. That way it breaks back over to the meat part of the zone. It's going to be the hanger. With 2 strikes, the slider can start on the inside corner to the middle of the plate and still stay in the zone if it starts at the belt to high thigh range. So you got to keep that on your toes when you're with 2 strikes. But again, we talk about it a lot. Keep your direction to right center field. Do not get pull happy against this guy, because he can eat you up with the slider and the curveball. And also, keep him in the zone. Keep him in your window. Do not expand. Make him absolutely wear out the outside corner before you expand your zone, or the bottom part of the zone before you expand it. There's just no reason to, and you're only going to see him once, so make sure you just lock in your approach. If he paints 3 fastballs down and away at the bottom of the zone, you tip your hat and you move back to the dugout. Left-handed hitters, you are going to hunt the four-seamer. You want the ball to start inner to outer third, belt to high thigh. Again, do not expand lower because he wants you to open to the lower part of the zone so he can tunnel the curveball to get you to chase. Again, the only curveball we want to swing at is going to start above the zone and off of the plate away. That pitch will drop in the middle of the zone, and we can do damage on it with 2 strikes. We have to battle, so keep your direction to the big part of the field. Again, very common theme this series is going to be right center field for the righties, left center field for the lefties. That is what I got on Mr. Killian. Ken, do you have anything else?
Nope. You hit it right on the nail. We got to hit the ball the other way, middle side, middle backside, and we'll win. We don't, we're going to lose. Easy.
Yep. Look, this is honestly what the Braves need, and I know I've been saying it, but for sake, Austin, this is a perfect series for you to really get your direction to right center field. I don't know what you're doing right now, man, but you look awful. Your direction looks awful. It doesn't even look like you're using your legs. You're not using the ground effectively. Like, you are focusing way too much on the upper part of your chain. Everything starts with the base. And when your base is right and your hips are doing what they're supposed to do, that sets up everything for your upper body to fall into slot appropriately. So again, get your direction right. I may be doing a video on that this weekend or the following weekend. We're going to take Austin Riley to the cage, and we're going to do some drill work, so keep in mind on that. But, again, everybody, this is going to be a really good series. I think this can get the Braves hitters back on track because they can't get pool happy. I know they saw some stuff that was that they tried to pull that they shouldn't have this weekend, but really sit middle backside this series. And if you do that, you're going to have a very, very good series. So before we leave, Ken, series predictions.
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. We'll take 2 out of 3.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Taking 2 out of 3. I'd feel more confident if we were swinging the bats better to take all 3, but 2 out of 3 will do the job. And who do you got for your MVP? I'm curious. I already know who you took on your for the pitching side, but who you got on hitter side?
Yeah, y'all check out the recap because sometimes most time we take offense, but I took a pitcher in the recap, so tune in for that. But I will go with Mr. Eli White. I think Eli White can be a huge difference in this series. Adrian Hauser, I can see him taking deep. I think he can sit middle backside and hit Robbie. And he's the one guy to me that the curveball is not as big a difference. So I think Eli White's going to have a good series. He actually just won the Battle K in New York this series. And Eli has these sneaky series as we've seen against the Reds last year. So I think Eli White will be the MVP of this series.
I like it, man. 3 hits this past series, 3 or 4 hits against the Mets this past series. As soon as I started thinking about it, when I asked you, I was like, I bet you he's going to take Eli. And look at me, knowing you. All right, I already took in my guy on the recap. It's going to be Matt Olson. Matt Olson does a really good job sitting middle backside, keeping his direction going to the big part of the field. That's going to fit really, 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 really well this series. I think Matty O has a big series like he typically does. So that's who I am going with. Ken, do you have anything else before we skedaddle on out of here?
Just what we've been telling you in our tweets and all of our social media. It's a bad week. We understand that, but they're 46-25. They only have lost 1 game ground to the Brewers and the Phillies, none to the Dodgers. It's a bad week, yes, but let's move on. Let's try to have a good week, and maybe the pick to click will actually be Drake Baldwin. One of these series coming up, we get our best hitter back. And I tweeted it today in the middle of one of my times off from the hospital that I have no concerns about this team. I really think Alex is going to go out and get some people, and I fully expect to be in the playoffs, and I fully expect to be a tough out and when we get there.
I agree with you, Ken. Everybody needs to keep in perspective. It could be 2025 all over again, and you think you're miserable now. Well, have a flashback to 2025 and let me know how you're doing then. Okay, all right. All right, chat. We got nothing else for you. So we're going to see you on the next series recap, which will be against the Brewers. And my God, I got a game plan against Jacob Mizorowski. Please pray for me and every one of those Braves hitters. Because it ain't happening. I wouldn't want to face 105. I don't know about you, Ken. But anyway, chat, we're getting on out of here. Peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.